Welcome to Argument with Databases, Gale opposing viewpoints. In this video, you're going to explore the location and passwords for the database, how to navigate, how to use it for research, specifically argument, citing sources using Gale opposing viewpoints, and then your knowledge application is explore and practice using some of the many features. We've also covered annotations using color coding. As you're diving headfirst into argumentative text, whether that's reading or writing, I wanted to share with you a resource we have at Timberwood, and it's within our databases. So let me show you where it's at. I'm on the Timberwood Middle School library website, and I'm going to use my favorite way of getting there, which is to scroll down and then click Library. Then on the library website, otherwise known as PantherNet, I'm going to click the button that says Research Resources. From there, I'm going to click Databases, and then I'm going to click TMS Databases. And that brings us up to all of our databases. Now, you're familiar with Britannica School and with Gale in middle school, but one I want to share with you that you also have access to is called Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints. And when you're doing argumentative text, which involves claims and counterclaims, this is a good resource for the research piece or for helping kids come up with topics. So I'm going to click on Opposing Viewpoints, and it is a Gale product, so it might ask for our password, which is Panthers, all lowercase. Sign in. Now, let me take you on a little bit of navigation. At the top, you see issues of interest, and they'll list about 3 or 4 of those before it scrolls back around. Then I can browse issues, and it gives me some categories with a few under each one. It shows you what's been recently updated or added that's new. Or I can browse all issues here. I'll look at that in a minute. Now, I also have something called a topic finder, curriculum standards, and educator resources that are all really good to look at. But let's click on Browse All 482 Issues. Now, this is really good if kids are trying to find a topic and they want to be able to look at both sides of it. I'm going to look at eating disorders as an example. So it brings me up an overview, which is a little definition and some basic information. I can read more if I want to. These are my options I have. I can browse issues, use the topic finder. I can look at my search history, get a link, highlights and notes, just some different tools I have within Gale that I can use. Now, as I scroll down, I'm going to see featured viewpoints on this page. Viewpoints, and it tells me how many sources I have, images, news, academic journals, infographics, audio, websites, primary sources, magazine articles. And then I can click related topics to look at some things that are similar. Let's just look at featured viewpoints. Now, within featured viewpoints, it's sorted by relevance. So this is what's most closely related to my topic of eating disorders, but it's kind of taking it a little bit deeper or more specific. So I've got some different articles that I can look at. Okay. Now I can filter my results a lot of different ways. Okay. I can look at viewpoints, which is a little bit broader look at the topic to get some more information. And what I like about this is the information is very current, very relevant, and very dependable. And just like anything else in Gale, and you can see it's looking at different sides of the issue. And these are not necessarily just informational text, which is what you find on other Gale databases, but this is more opinion or taking a side. And it'll tell you it's a viewpoint essay. It'll tell you how long it is, when it was published. Gives you a little bit an idea of the reading level, the lexile. Okay. So I'm looking for different, sides to an issue. This might be a good resource. Gale in Context, Opposing Viewpoints. Some other things I can look at if I want to look at some news articles. As you can see, there is a lot of those. Again, they tell you when this was published, so you know how current it is. The reading level, using lexile. What kind of an article it is, whether it's a report, a clinical report, a brief article. Okay. And again, I can filter those any way I wish. Okay. Got some websites I can look at. I'll be right with you. All of this within my topic of eating disorders. Okay. So this gives me a nicely organized way to find out information about my topic, but this information is more slanted because it's based on opposing viewpoints, two different sides of an issue, of a complicated issue. Okay. Now, one other thing I want to show you is the topic finder, which is also kind of cool. Okay. So I'm going to type in my topic, which is eating disorders. Okay. Now this is viewing it as tiles. So within my topic, these are some subtopics. And it shows you how broad or how narrow those topics are. Now, another way to look at it is via what's called the wheel. So I can switch from tiles to wheel. And now it's more organized by subcategories under categories. Okay. So I've got youth 2023, and then within that, I've got some subtopics. I can click on any of that to bring up some articles. So this is a really fabulous research article. And just like any of the other Gale resources that we have, citations are done for us. So if I click on an article that looks interesting to me, I can do all the things to it that I do to other Google articles. I can save it to my Google Drive. I can download it if I wish. I can print it if I wish. But here's my citation. I can just copy and paste that directly to my works cited page or my sources used page, whatever you used or you teach your students to use. This is a quick way to do correct citations without having to teach them how to use a citation generator or how to create citations, which is way more advanced than where we need to be going with middle school. So that is an introduction to Gale in Context, Opposing Viewpoints. And this is a really good resource to use when you're teaching argumentative text. And the kids need to do some research for that. If you have any questions, please be sure to come see me in the library. One of the really amazing tools in the Gale databases, all of them, is the ability to highlight using different colors. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to click on Gale in Context, Opposing Viewpoints. And then it did not ask me for a password this time, but if it had asked me for a password, I would have typed in Panthers, one word, all lowercase. I'm going to type in eating disorders as my topic. Let's just say that was my topic I was using for my current PBL. Now, I'm going to click an article. And this first one looks like a good one. How dieting, weight suppression, and even misuse of drugs like Ozempic can contribute to eating disorders. Okay. So here's my article. And my tools are up here. What I do with my mouse is I'm going to highlight some text, click and drag, and let's see. I'm going to type in, this is the point of view of the author. The authors argue that attempts to lose weight, including with the assistance of semaglutide, can result in the development of eating disorders. So that is, when I highlighted that, I automatically get the box that allows me just to select the text color. Now, this sounds like a thesis statement to me, or the author's point of view. So I'm going to highlight that in yellow. Hit save. And then I'm going to go, this sounds like a detail here. The authors explain that semaglutide drugs such as Ozempic and Wegovy can often lead to weight loss, but their results may diminish over time. Those semaglutide drugs are approved for the treatment of diabetes. The author expresses great concern about their off-label use, prescriptions for non-approved uses, and illegal purchases. That sounds like some detail, so I'm going to label that green. So, and then some questions to ponder. So my wonder statements are right here. And I'm going to highlight those in blue and hit save. And now the article is highlighted for me. And that's something that I think is pretty cool. We can color code our highlighting within the Gale database, which this one happens to be opposing viewpoints.